Hey guys, I want to show y'all what we did up here with our feeder setup in the mountains. It's a little bit different than what most people are used to and what's out there on the market in the mountains here, especially if you have black bears. You definitely have to take some extra precautions with your deer feeders up here. And the other thing to consider is also these squirrels that are out here. We've had a lot of experience with some squirrels that actually eat through plastic feeders. They'll hop out on top of it and eat through the top of it. And then you get water in there with your corn, gets all moldy, gets stuck up, and then nothing's gonna work right. So what we've done to try to keep the squirrels and the bears off of our feeders, I'll turn this camera around and show you. You can see right here, we have set up a rig between two trees. You can see that tree's a little bit small, so it leans a little bit. But with wire, a pulley out in the middle of it, and then we have sections of PVC pipe on the wire. And the reason we've got the PVC pipe on the wire is to keep the squirrels and the bears from crawling out on that wire towards the feeder. And then we've got a metal feeder in the middle of it, because again, those squirrels, what they'll do is, even if you set this up, they'll get on these branches up top and they'll hop out and land on top of the feeder. And then they'll chew a hole through the top of your plastic feeder. So get a metal feeder, one of the barrels. That's really one of the only things that'll do up here in the mountains. And hang it out there between the trees. Hook up a pulley in between it. And then I'll show you over here what we've done. Is we set up a crank like you'd see off of the boat trailer with wire, and we bolted it to a board that comes out from the side of the tree so you can get around it. And again, this has got high tensile strength wire, not quite winch cable, but close to it. And then the handle we actually chained to the board, and that's easy to take off when you need to get to it. Just unravel it, take it off. But what the chain is there for is when that black bear, put it back on there, when that black bear comes around and he wants to climb on this thing, then that chain is going to keep this handle from spinning around freely and your feet are falling down, because he'll play with this thing and he'll try to use his hands and his paws and mess around with it. And if he hits this switch, then this thing starts spinning and that feeder falls down and he can get to it. He'll sit there and eat it for days. So put that chain on there, keep that feeder from freely spinning down and falling down if that bear plays with your crank. But it's a lot more rigging to get it done up here in the mountains. Takes a little bit of work, but if you've ever had the frustration of black bears and also squirrels getting to your feeders and ruining everything, you'll go through multiple feeder bottoms, because that thing will fall down, that bear will jump up there and he'll grab onto it, and he'll pull that feeder bottom off the bottom of that feeder. I mean that spinner, he'll pull it off the bottom of the feeder and all that corner will just dump out. So something a lot of people don't have to think about. But the other thing is making sure it's at the right height. As you can see, I'm about 6 feet tall, and holding my hand up here, I still can't touch it, and so that thing's probably 10-12 feet up. And so it's going to take the biggest black bear out there, especially in North Carolina mountains, to ever get to that thing. He'll climb the trees, as you can see over here. We've got a lot of claw marks and things, that bear getting up there. And we used to have it hanging from this tree over here. And as you can see, we tried the wire thing, putting wire around it, try to keep him off here. But he'll climb up there and pull that thing off. So try this approach. So far it's worked really, really well for us. The only thing that we added to it is making sure that you have the metal feeder, because those squirrels will get to it. And they'll eat through it. So anyway, I thought I'd let you know kind of what we're doing up here. We've got that on all three of our feeders on this property, and it works really well. A lot of work, but works better. All right, so if you want to see what I'm talking about with the feeders, you know how I said the squirrels will eat through plastic feeders. Well, the last plastic feeder that we have on this property up here close to the cabin, you can see the cabin behind me, is, well, I'll just show you here. What we did, since we already saw that they were eating through the plastic, is we put this trash can lid on top of it to protect it until we can get a metal feeder in here. Well, they ate through the trash can lid. Yeah, they ate through that. And then they ate through the lid of the plastic feeder. You can see all the pieces. And then they went through the burlap corn sack that was there as a secondary protection. Ate through all 3 layers to get to that corn. So that's a mountain squirrel right there. So that's why you have to have a metal feeder, which is what we're going to install here shortly.